it says that the complainant decided to pass you and continue on his way. So what the synopsis so far is saying is that you were brake checking him, I guess because he was riding his bumper, and then the complainant decides, you know what, I'm just gonna pass this guy. So it says that he passes you, then you caught up to him, pulled up next to him, didn't fire your weapon, but exhibited your weapon to him, and then got in front of the complainant and started brake checking him again. That's where I have a problem. I can understand you're driving.
This is your average case of road rage. It began with a moment of anger behind the wheel, but ended with a loaded gun and a courtroom. Now, a young man is staring down the possibility of years behind bars. How did a simple traffic incident escalate into a life-altering criminal charge? Let's walk through every decision that led to this unraveling.
All right, and Mr. LaHood, if you can move down to the other end. All right. And are you Jason Giovanni Bustos?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, you entered a plea on January 13th to count 1 guilty. The state waived count 2 without objection. You applied for deferred adjudication. According to the plea bargain agreement, punishment is to be assessed at 6 years in the prison. There's a $2,000 fine.
Here's where the legal stakes shift dramatically. The judge's finding of a deadly weapon changes everything. That phrase isn't just courtroom language. It's a legal trigger that blocks any chance at probation. It tightens a judge's hands, limits mercy, and turns what could have been a second chance into a likely prison sentence.
There's an affirmative finding of deadly weapon. The state opposes your application for deferred adjudication, and there's to be restitution and no contact to the complainant. Have both parties had a chance to review the PSI report
We have, Judge.
and the TAP evaluation?
We have.
Any objections?
No objections, no corrections or additions.
Any objections from the state? All right, any witnesses state?
No,
Defensive
no,
witnesses?
Oh, yeah.
All right.
With my client, just very briefly.
All right, could you raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Hey.
All right, you can lower your hand, state your name for the record.
Jason Giovanni Bustos.
All right, defense.
Jason, you admitted when you were here, you admitted to probation that you shot the gun at this other person, correct?
Yes.
And this had to do with on a road, you and another vehicle were playing jockeying back and forth, correct?
Yes.
And I want to make sure that the other vehicle was a F-150 Ford pickup,
Yes.
and you had a 95 Ford Ranger, correct?
Yes.
4-speed.
Yes.
And you felt threatened by, is that what you felt threatened by the actions of your driver?
Yes.
That moment in court was telling. When a judge looks you in the eye and says you overreacted by pulling a gun, they're not just commenting, they're drawing a line. It means the court sees your actions not as self-defense, but as an escalation. In their eyes, this wasn't protective instinct. It was excessive force with dangerous consequences.
You know now, when you carry guns, things like this can happen. You can overreact. You understand that that's not very smart, right?
Yes.
That's not a smart thing. You overreacted.
Yes.
Have you learned a lesson?
I did.
You think that you could be successful on probation?
Yes.
A lot of reporting, drug testing, fines to pay, community service, maybe some gun safety classes. Think you can be successful in that?
Yes.
You have a drug problem?
Do not.
Pass the witness.
All right, any questions?
Mr. Bustos, so you stated that you felt threatened by the other drivers on correct?
Yes.
But the encounter that you had with him, it wasn't a short encounter, right? It went on for several miles, correct?
Yes.
And so at any time during that period where you guys are going back and forth with each other, did you ever came to call 911 and report that you were feeling threatened?
This point hit hard. There was number 911 call. No attempt to flag down help, no sign of retreat. Prosecutors latched onto that. They argued he had every opportunity to step back, to calm down, to walk away. But instead, he chose confrontation. In the state's view, that choice turned a bad situation into a criminal one.
I did not have a phone at the time.
Okay. And so, I mean, there were multiple streets where you could turn off or went into a business park to do anything else.
No, there was heavy traffic during the whole entire incident.
Okay.
My first thought would be going towards the HEV that was right across from the highway, and I couldn't make it across due to how due to just traffic flowing through.
Okay. And so there was heavy traffic in the area for time. So the way that you use to reconcile this is to fire a firearm twice. That was your reaction, right?
That was after when I got away from the heavy traffic.
Okay. So why didn't you get away from the other vehicle?
I did try to get away from the vehicle.
But then you still followed them and shot.
I didn't follow them. I was being followed the whole entire time.
But in the stipulated evidence, it says that the other Ford was taking the turnaround right when you fired into the vehicle, correct?
No.
So what's going on here?
When I took the turnaround, there was an HEV. The entrance to that HEV was very close to the turnaround. So instead of proceeding, I decided to go straight. When I went straight to the first light, I decided to go on a right-hand turn lane, and I noticed that the truck was still following. Once I noticed that, and I checked my rearview mirror, he was already trying to try to jump over the curb to get to where I was headed towards, and I was trying to avoid just a confrontation from him. So instead, I proceeded to go straight. When I got off the right hand turn lane, I went straight when the light turned green to the other light, and I didn't even make it halfway until I almost got into an accident just from trying to drive away. My truck stalled, and that's when I noticed the driver was still proceeding and started tailgating, driving recklessly, maneuvering through cars through the traffic that I left behind. So from there, he caught up to me, and that's when I got scared and overreacted.
Okay. And so I want you to help me understand this, because in your interview that you gave with Detective Grant, it says that you stated that during some of the swerving that you catched up to the other Ford, and that's when the truck slowed down and tried to cut you off. And then
That was in the highway.
that's when you exited and took the turnaround, and then that's when you shot into the other truck.
And then came the moment that changed everything. His own words. He admitted to pulling the trigger after following the other car for blocks. That single line unraveled the entire defense. It didn't sound like someone acting in fear. It sounded like someone settling a score. And in court, intention is everything.
So on the highway, if you had an opportunity to catch up to him, why didn't you just go somewhere else? Do you think that your response was reasonable to shoot into his vehicle?
No, it wasn't.
Let me follow up. I'm well familiar with the location. I live out there. When you exited at the Leon Springs exit,
Yes.
Bernie Stage Road. And you exited there to do the turnaround. It's up a ways. There's no place to turn off. It's a service road. It's very heavily trafficked. And you make a turnaround. There's an HEV on the right-hand side, but there's like 3 lanes there when you do the turnaround. You had 2 or 3 lanes to be able to pull into HEV.
Yeah.
Correct. There's too much traffic. There always is on service road. Correct. So you continue straight. Is that correct? And your truck is a Ford Ranger or Ford Cylinder.
Yes.
When they're talking about catching up with you, did you accelerate to try to catch up?
Not accelerated.
What did you mean about trying to catch up? Or catching up?
What happened was, as we were driving forward
On 10.
he left it alone. I left it alone. I didn't do anything about it. There's no reason for me to catch up. I can't even catch up.
No, yeah, I understand.
Not against with the truck that has 8 cylinders against a Ford 4-cylinder truck. Anyway, I noticed from about a quarter mile, he was already tailgating another vehicle, but then again he starts to pull back dramatically.
Okay. What do you mean by you caught up with him? What do you mean?
I mean that
Were you trying to catch up with him?
I wasn't trying to.
The flow of traffic, you ended up getting ahead of him.
Yeah.
Okay. That's all I have. Thank you.
Any other questions? All right, so this
I may
is,
just say this one thing,
yes.
if I may.
Well, just 1 second, because I want something cleared up for me. In the report, I'm reading the synopsis, and this is what the synopsis says in the stipulations. It says that the complainant was in his personally owned vehicle. The suspect was in his vehicle, and the suspect began to brake check him on the interstate. I understand brake checking people because sometimes people are riding your bumper. I understand that. I think it's crazy to do that, but I understand why people brake check, say, hey, quit riding my bumper. So that's not the problem for the court, that you were brake checking him.
The judge laid it all bare, piece by piece, brake checking, tailgating, reaching for a weapon. None of it looked like a moment of panic. Instead, it read like a timeline of aggression. This wasn't one bad decision. It was a pattern, a chain reaction of confrontational choices that led exactly to where he is now.
It says that the complainant decided to pass you and continue on his way. So what the synopsis so far is saying is that you were brake checking him, I guess because he was riding his bumper. And then the complainant decides, you know what, I'm just gonna pass this guy. So it says that he passes you, then you caught up to him, pulled up next to him, didn't fire your weapon, but exhibited your weapon to him, and then got in front of the complainant and started brake checking him again. That's where I have a problem. I can understand you're driving. Maybe the speed limit is 60. Sometimes people will be in what's called the fast lane on the freeway, and they're going below the speed limit, which is a no-no. But let's say the speed limit is 60, you're going 50 or 55, who cares? You're going less than whatever. Or maybe this person is speeding behind you. So they're behind you, they're riding your bumper, which people do, which they shouldn't do, because that doesn't give you time to stop if you need to stop immediately. So this person says, you start brake checking them. So I'm sure tempers are high. His temper is high. I know the complainant was probably upset, probably said a few choice words. And then the complainant gets from behind you, because you're brake checking him, and speeds past you. Maybe he gestured towards you or whatever, but he doesn't pull a weapon. So he speeds past you. All right, the court is going to find you guilty. The court will sentence you to a $2,000 fine, time and money to run concurrent. There's an affirmative finding of deadly weapon. I'll ask for the therapeutic community based on the mental health. And I do understand, based from reading the synopsis, what was going on with both parties. And there was bad behavior on both sides. But Mr. Giovanni, this is not a probation case. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sentence you to 4 years in the prison, give you credit for any time served. There's an affirmative finding of deadly weapon. There's to be no contact with the complainant, and $250 of restitution to the complainant. Did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it?
Well, we did all this. You don't have a right to do.
All right, because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. All right, we can go off the record. So I gave you something less than what the state requested because of the facts of your case.
The defense gave it one last try. No past convictions, diagnosed mental health issues, a steady job, a stable life. They painted a picture of someone who made a mistake, not a menace. But when firearms are involved and public safety is at stake, even a clean history isn't always enough. The court isn't just weighing his character, they're weighing the risk.
You're going to have to get a control of your anger, and you're going to have to start making better decisions. A gun should not be the answer to every issue that comes up. All right, good luck to you.
And he gets credit for time served, right?
Yes.
So you got, it's a fair thing to do. You've never been in jail. You'll be able to go full arrest for one half. You get credit for the time you can do.
Thank you, counsel.
Thank you.